In 1982, Atari was worth $2 billion. They had 12 million households playing on their console. They were the video game industry. They didn't just lead it, they were it. And in just 18 months, they buried their future in a landfill in the New Mexico desert. Here's how. The story of Atari isn't just a cautionary tale about one bad product. It's about what happens when a company confuses dominance with invincibility. Because every mistake Atari made, the arrogance, the rushed timelines, the ignored warnings, the suffocated creativity, companies are still making those exact mistakes today. We're going to walk through all of it. The meteoric rise, the catastrophic blind spot, the desert burial, and the lesson that anyone building anything right now cannot afford to miss. Atari started in 1972 when Nolan Bushnell and Ted Dabney had a deceptively simple idea. What if people could play a video game in a bar? That idea became Pong. 2 paddles, 1 ball, 0 storyline. And it became the first commercially successful arcade game in American history. By 1977, they launched the Atari 2600, a home console that lets you plug different games into your TV for the first time. That was genuinely revolutionary. Parents bought it. Kids obsessed over it. Retailers couldn't keep it stocked. In 1976, Warner Communications acquired Atari for $28 million. Within 6 years, Atari was generating $2 billion in annual revenue, accounting for 1/3 of Warner's entire profits. They were the Apple of their era, the Amazon, the Google. They invented an industry from nothing and then sat at the very top of it. Everyone, investors, executives, the press, thought they were untouchable. But they had one fatal blind spot. Here's where everything went wrong. In the summer of 1982, Atari paid $21 million to license Steven Spielberg's blockbuster E.T. the Extraterrestrial for a video game tie-in. The movie was the highest-grossing film of the year. The logic seemed bulletproof. Take the hottest IP on the planet and put it on the hottest console on the planet. The problem? They gave developer Howard Scott Warshaw just 36 days to build the game. 36 days. A proper game took 6 to 12 months minimum. The result was nearly unplayable. Confusing mechanics, endless pits your character fell into with no clear way out. Critics hated it. Kids hated it. Atari had manufactured 4 million cartridges, more than there were 2,600 consoles in existence at the time. Roughly 3.5 million came back unsold. But here's what they didn't see coming. E.T. wasn't the disease. It was just the symptom. The real problem was that Atari had been flooding the market with low-quality licensed games for over a year, training consumers to distrust the label. Third-party developers had no quality control. Store shelves were a graveyard of bad titles. And quietly, patiently, in Kyoto, Japan, a playing card company named Nintendo was watching all of it. Looking back, this is almost painfully obvious. But at the time, Atari had no reason to look over their shoulder. They thought they were the whole horizon. The collapse was swift and total. In 1983, the North American video game market crashed 97%, from $3.2 billion to just $100 million in 2 years. The industry didn't just slow down, it nearly ceased to exist. Atari laid off thousands of employees. Warner Communications, desperate to cut losses, sold the consumer division in 1984 to Jack Tramiel for a fraction of its former value. And those millions of unsold cartridges, E.T., bad Pac-Man ports, shovelware, they were literally bulldozed into a landfill in Alamogordo, New Mexico, crushed under concrete to stop people from digging them back out. In 2014, documentary crews finally excavated that landfill. They found the cartridges exactly where the legend said they'd be. Fossils of overconfidence, buried in the desert. By the time Nintendo launched the NES in America in 1985 and proved the market wasn't dead, just betrayed, Atari was already a ghost of itself, cycling through owners, never recovering the throne it had built.
Here's the real lesson. Atari didn't fail because the market turned on them. They failed because they consumed the trust their own innovation had built. They prioritized volume over quality, speed over craft, licensing fees over user experience. And when customers finally said enough, they said it all at once, and they said it loudly. Now ask yourself, which companies today are sitting on enormous market share, flooding their platforms with mediocre output, assuming that loyalty is permanent? Think about the app stores, the streaming platforms, the social media feeds. The pattern is the same. The entitlement is the same. History doesn't repeat, but it absolutely rhymes. Next week, we're looking at another empire that built the future and then refused to live in it. If you want to see that, hit subscribe. The ghost is waiting.